campers, Jake Farmer here. Welcome to Farmeritaville. This video is going to delve into Halloween Horror Nights for beginners. Maybe you've never been, maybe you're thinking about going, maybe the whole idea just seems a little overwhelming. If you've never been, I'm going to go through my 13 tips that will help you get things together and make it more fun and more enjoyable so that you can have a great time at what I believe is the best Halloween event ever, hands down, period. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Please hit that like and subscribe button and turn on those notifications. I make videos about stuff that excites me, and that is largely haunted houses and theme parks. All right, let's dive right in. 13 tips for first timers at Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. First tip, buy your tickets in advance. This is an extremely popular event. Many of the nights sell out. You don't want to be there and not be able to get tickets. And even if you could, the lines at the ticket booths are crazy. So go ahead and cut down on standing in line there. Go ahead and eliminate the possibility that you might not even get in. Buy your tickets in advance. Now, I will tell you, when you go to the website to buy your tickets for Halloween Horror Nights, it might seem a little bit overwhelming because there's so many options and so many layers and so many different things you can do. The first thing you need to know is that Halloween Horror Nights is a separate ticketed event from regular daytime hours at Universal Studios Orlando. That means the park is open during the day for regular guests with all the regular rides and attractions, but it closes about 5 o'clock. And if you don't have a nighttime ticket for Halloween Horror Nights, you have to leave, and then at 6:30, give or take, the park reopens for Halloween Horror Nights. The whole environment changes. It's not the same as it is during the day. So daytime ticket, nighttime ticket, know that those are two separate things. Now, they usually have ticket options. Typically they're called the Stay and Scream ticket, and that's basically a combination ticket so that you can go to the park during the day and do all the regular stuff and then stay at night when Halloween Horror Nights kicks in. You just need to do your homework because it sometimes varies from year to year how they have it set up. Which brings me to the second tip for going to Halloween Horror Nights. Get express passes. Just like the tickets, you want to buy them ahead of time. Buy them together at the same time when you're planning your trip. Express passes are essentially skip the line passes. Now, you don't really skip the entire line. There's always a little bit of a wait, but when you see how the regular line flows versus the express line, you'll definitely be glad that you invested in the express pass. And this is all more important if you're coming from out of town, if you're coming from out of state and you fly in just for a night or two to do Halloween Horror Nights. The only way you're gonna get to see everything in one night is with an express pass. It's completely possible, but everything is so crowded and so busy, I honestly don't think you could get through all 10 haunted houses, plus the scare zones and the shows, without an express pass. Now, if you're not a frequent theme park visitor, something that might be shocking when you go to buy the express pass is that it is usually priced more than the actual park ticket. They have a dynamic pricing range, meaning busier nights are going to be more expensive and the slower nights are going to be lower priced. So if you can go during a weeknight like a Wednesday or Thursday, that's usually a cheaper ticket and fewer crowds. So I also recommend that if you can do it. Tip number 3. A great way to keep up with this stuff and even purchase tickets if you want to is to download the Universal Orlando Parks app. It's a free app in the Android or Apple store, and it's actually very user-friendly and pretty easy to navigate. And when you open it up, very easy. You can look at park hours, park maps. It's got information about horror nights and stuff like that. But right down here, this icon in the corner, that's the important part. That's your wallet. So when you open an account and you buy tickets either on the website or through the app, you can click on that and it can store credit card or debit card information so that you can use it to make purchases around the resort, and you can have all your express passes and your park tickets. Everything that you need to get in will be right there inside the app and accessible from the app. And when you have a ticket, you can use your phone as admission. You click on the ticket and it just brings up the QR code and you can scan it right at the gate. Your express pass is also on there, so at the entrance of every haunted house or ride or show, you can pull up that QR code and they can scan it right there at the entrance using your mobile phone. That brings me to tip number 4, which is print your Express Pass. Now, I just said, and most people do use the phone to scan it. You can just pull up that QR code at the entrance of every ride and have them scan it. The reason I don't like doing that, for one, it drains your phone battery. You gotta constantly keep turning your phone on and maximum brightness on the screen so that the scanner can read it, and you got to just keep getting your phone out and you got to pull it up every single time. Open the app, find it, pull it out, and you've got 10 haunted houses, not to mention if you go on any rides. Sometimes the shows have priority seating if you buy Express Pass. It's just I don't like playing with my phone that much. I'm there, I want to be there, immersed in it and have fun. So like I said, the solution is to print your Express Pass. Now, this derived from back when I started going to horror nights and we didn't have the app yet, and they would give you your printed ticket, which would be like a little card, and your printed Express Pass would be a little card, and you would put that card in a pouch on your lanyard, and then you could wear your lanyard around the park. And at the beginning of every show, at the entrance of every ride, you just beep, 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 and you just show them your badge and they scan it and you walk right in. That still works even though most people use the app. You can print it out after you buy it at home. Just make sure the QR code is there. Don't worry, this one's expired. You can't scan it off the screen or anything. But you can print it out and stick it in a lanyard, and that saves time. And for me, I just like to pick up lanyards. If you have a lanyard with a clear pouch, you could take that with you to save some money and wear it, and also save time by not pulling out your phone at every entrance. As for me, every year Universal has a different Horror Nights lanyard or two, and they also have different lanyards throughout the year for different IPs like Jurassic Park or The Simpsons and other things that they have there. And I'm a lanyard junkie. Over the years, I have collected quite a few lanyards. So every year I throw down the 15 bucks to buy another one, and that's how I use my Express Pass when I get in. The important thing to remember if you're gonna print your Express Pass out is to make sure that the date is on there. When you print it and cut it out so that it fits in the badge, make sure that that date is visible, because that's what they're gonna check. Usually the lines are really long, physically really long, not necessarily the wait. And right when you go into the line, there's gonna be somebody at the beginning of the express line that makes sure that that date is on there, that it's for the day that you're visiting. And then further down the line is where they're actually gonna scan it. Now the express passes, I should mention, are only good once per attraction per night, which means you can do everything once without having to wait in a long line. And if you want to go back and do it again, you can, but you're going to be stuck waiting in line. I personally have never had the desire to make a second lap. Typically, if I go through everything at Horror Nights using an express pass, there may be an hour or so left that the park is open, and I don't want to spend that last hour waiting in line to do one thing. So get an express pass and put it in a lanyard. Tip number 5, wear good walking shoes. There is lots and lots and lots of walking. I would hope that you would expect that if you go to any theme park, anywhere, any time of the year. Theme parks are big. There's just a lot of walking involved. Halloween Horror Nights specifically though, you're gonna walk all over the place because the haunted houses are scattered all over the park. And what you don't realize until you get there is you're not just walking around the park, you're walking around lots and lots of backstage areas at the park, because the queue lines that they set up for the haunted houses are so long, they occupy lots and lots of backstage areas around the park. So even though you see the entrance and it's a nice little truss with a sign, the logo for whatever the haunted house is, you think, oh, we go in there. That's not where the haunt is, that's where the line starts. And you're gonna walk a long way backstage in some cases to get to the tent or the building wherever the haunt is actually set up. Even with Express Pass, even when you're not physically standing still waiting in line, you're just walking, you're walking, you're walking, you're walking. You get to the house, you walk through the house, you get out of the house, and then you have to make that long walk back just to get back inside the regular park and then continue the journey on to the next haunted house. So definitely wear comfortable shoes and be prepared to walk a lot, even with Express Pass. Number 6. This one is going to vary for some people. I don't know how you are, I know how I am. And this tip is eat a good meal first. Before the event starts, Go out, have a late lunch or early dinner, and just have a good hearty meal, because like I said in the previous tip, you're gonna walk a lot. You're gonna burn off the calories. It's fine, you're on vacation, go get something to eat. There's great restaurants at every single resort at Universal. There's also a ton of really good restaurants at City Walk. Now, having said that, the reason I like to do it that way is, as you may have gathered by now, I love Halloween Horror Nights. I'm a big fan. I also don't live in Orlando, so I only get to go once, maybe twice a year if I'm lucky, and I'm cramming it all in, and that excitement is really, really high the whole time. Well, when I'm that excited, I'm not hungry. I just like, let's go do more stuff. So for me, it always helps to have a full stomach. There are lots of really cool novelty foods. Just, you know, like every theme park, there's theme park food, but there's actually special food offerings just for Halloween Horror Nights. They have a lot of themed treats and snacks and other stuff that go along with the theme of the houses that year, with the theme of the icon characters. And so there's actually some really, really nice goodies that you can try out along the way if you have the desire to do so. Like I said, I'm typically go, and I'm just like water, beer, and that's what keeps me going after a good meal in the afternoon. But if you are a foodie and you like to try cool exotic stuff, definitely check out all of the new offerings that they have every year at Halloween Horror Nights. Just don't overdo it. I sound like mom. Not too much candy, kids, you'll have a stomach ache. Tip number 7. Don't be overwhelmed by the huge crowds, because there are gonna be huge crowds. This has obviously come up in some of the previous tips already, but like I said, lots and lots and lots of people attend this event. If you don't like being in big crowds, you might not have a fun time, regardless of how prepared you are. But that's exactly why I say expect the large crowds. Don't think that you're gonna go and like, well, it's a Wednesday, maybe it'll be slow tonight. Okay, well, a slow night there could be 20 or 30,000 people. You're going to encounter large crowds no matter when you go. That's how the event was designed. That's how the event runs. I will also note that despite the really high throughput of all the attractions, I believe that they are really well designed for that. The haunted houses still get scares, the special effects, the lighting, all of it. The actors, they know what they're doing. They know how to process people, they know how to get them through, and they know how to still give them a good show. And that's one thing that I appreciate about the event. If you're used to a traditional haunted house where one group of people go in every couple of minutes, it is not like that. Don't even expect that. That took me by surprise the first time I visited, but by the end of the night, I had seen the light, so to speak. But again, they do a fantastic job of designing and operating the event to handle large volumes of people. Don't be scared by it. Let the scare actors do the scaring. Number 8, don't do normal stuff during HHN. And what I mean by normal stuff is all the rides and things that are normally there all day, every day. It's gonna be tempting, especially if you're coming from out of town and if you've never been to Universal. The very first time I set foot in the park ever was during Halloween Horror Nights. I was overwhelmed. I was the kid in a candy store. I looked like the kid in all the Disney commercials running down Main Street looking at Mickey Mouse, except Mickey Mouse was Halloween Horror Nights for me, and it was fantastic. I was also about 23. Anyway, yes, if you are going to take a short during the week trip, or if you're going to make a full-blown vacation out of this, regardless, if you're going for a longer period of time than just evening at Halloween Horror Nights for one night, yeah, save all the normal stuff for during the daytime, because like I mentioned before, it's already kind of a feat to cram in all the HHN stuff, all the haunted houses, all the shows, all the scare zones, all that kind of stuff. You need express passes to get all that done in one night. And so if you've only got one night, don't get distracted by other things that you can do during the day. Men in Black is a fun ride. You can shoot aliens. That definitely sounds like something for Halloween. But if you can ride it during the day, do it during the day. And then at Horror Nights, focus on the Halloween stuff, because there's so many offerings and things that they bring out that you can only get during the evening at Horror Nights. And you don't want to miss any of it because you're doing things that you could have been doing during the day. Number 9. Ooh, I'm gonna get flack for this one, I can feel it. This extends beyond Horror Nights. This is if you're going on a vacation to a theme park like Disney or Universal or Knott's or wherever you're going. Keep your travel party small. I know that's hard to do. We all want to hang out with our friends and have a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're okay throwing down the money and going to an event like this and not seeing all of it because you were doing shots with your friends at the bar, you have fun, that's all that matters. But me, if I'm gonna go and do something like this, I wanna see the event. I love my friends. If I'm gonna do shots with my friends at the bar, I can do that at home. But when I'm on vacation or when I'm traveling to somewhere, I wanna get what I cannot get at home. And in this instance, it's all the stuff that Halloween Horror Nights has to offer. Having fewer people in your party is gonna let you move around the park a whole lot faster. There's gonna be less bathroom breaks. You're not gonna have to wait in line at the food stand for someone to figure out what they want. And this extends a little bit further to children. Kids are work, we all know it. Yeah, just, kids are gonna slow you down. Try to keep it adults only. Not just that, but this is a pretty intense event. I've already talked about the crowds. Never mind the Halloween stuff. Just this many people, in a public place. Kids are probably not gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's people-y. And part of that is adult-oriented in some of it. Some of the shows can get a little raunchy, and alcohol is everywhere. You always have a chance to buy a drink somewhere at Halloween Horror Nights. So just keep that in mind. The last thing I want to do is tell anybody how to be a parent, especially when I'm not a parent myself, but these are things that you should be aware of before you go to the event. Tip number 10. Stay at a hotel on Universal property. They have a slew of resorts, ranging from modest budget resort all the way up to like very, very, very nice resorts. I've been fortunate enough to stay in several of them, not all of them, but I have stayed in ones in the top tier and I've stayed in ones at the bottom tier. And to be honest, I was not disappointed at all. For the luxury resorts, you're really kind of paying for the scenery. The last trip there, I stayed at Universal's Endless Summer Resort with Dockside Inn & Suites and Surfside Inn & Suites. Now, essentially, these are both part of the same resort. It's just like two separate physical hotels, Surfside and Dockside. And they're identical, other than maybe the color scheme. This one has more sunshine, this one has more water themed stuff. That's really about it. I stayed in a standard room with a pool view, 2 queen beds, and after all the taxes and fees, it was about $140 for the night. That is not terrible. The hotel itself is actually nice. There's a couple of different restaurants, a couple of different bars, and every Universal on-property hotel supplies transportation to and from the park. Now, the type of transportation is going to depend on where you're staying. At Dockside, where I was, it was bus only. That was the only option. Some of the nicer resorts are closer to the parks, and they're connected by what they call water taxi, which is basically a boat on a very scenic canal, and you can just kind of take a relaxing boat ride to the park. That's great. Some of them are also close enough that you can walk to the park. Now, regardless of which hotel you stay at, something that you should be aware of before you head out for the night is what food options are open late at that hotel and how late. If you've been walking a lot and if you've been drinking a lot, like some people do, at the end of the night, you're gonna wanna eat. For me, I wish I could end every horror night by just going to a nice sit-down restaurant, having someone wait on me and my friends, and let's just like have a couple drinks and some food and talk about the night. That would be the ideal ending. However, City Walk closes the same time as the parks, and some of the bars and restaurants there close earlier, and like I already mentioned, in the hotel, most of the good dining is closed. You only have quick service snack food type stuff that you can grab and take up to your room. So if you're gonna shut the park down at the end of the night, you're not gonna be able to go out to have a really nice meal that late. But every hotel has some kind of quick service option so that you can get some quick food to take upstairs. The other option for this, if you can do it, is to just load up on snacks before you go to the park. I was staying at Dockside, which is the cheapest on-property resort. Hands down, bare bones, the cheapest. I still had a mini fridge in my room, so I was able to go downstairs to the commissary and pick up some snacks and drinks and stuff and stick them in my fridge so that when I got back at 2 or 2:30 in the morning, I had something to eat. So just make sure that you're aware of what closes when and that you can, wrap the night up in a pleasant way. Number 11. All right, so I already warned you, you're gonna walk around a lot. You're gonna be around a lot of people. So the tip for this is take in the shows. Typically there's only 2 live shows during Horror Nights, maybe 3 some years. But this current season, there's only 2, and that's usually the average. I say take these in for a couple reasons. One, you've got time. If you're listening to me and you're just doing Horror Night stuff and you're using your Express Pass, you have the time. Don't feel like you don't. Secondly, it's a great way to rest your feet. If you're not used to walking a lot, or maybe you have health problems or other physical ailments and you need to take a break, sitting down to watch a show for half an hour is a great way to take a break. The other reason I offer this tip is because the Halloween shows there, in my humble opinion, are awesome. I've never been really disappointed with a show that I've seen there. On the low end, the simplest, you know, you may not remember it the next day, it's not that crazy, is the Lagoon show. They have lasers and fountains and lighting effects and projection effects and all kinds of stuff done to music and horror movies and things like that. And it's very, very, very cool multimedia kind of thing around the central lagoon right in the middle of the park. And that happens a few times a night. And at the other end of the spectrum, they have big arena shows that are, you know, that feature stunts or aerial circus performers. I've never been disappointed with a show that I've seen at Halloween Horror Nights. So definitely don't forget to take those in and get off your feet for a little bit. Tip number 12. If you finish all of the HHN offerings, you've done all the haunted houses, you've seen all the Halloween shows, you've gone through all the Halloween scare zones, and you've gotten tons of great photo ops, and you've bought lots of great merch from the Tribute store, then go ride some rides. You did pay for that park ticket, you did pay for that express pass, and if you're full of energy and you can go all night till 2 a.m., by all means, go ride some stuff. Get your money's worth from those tickets. Just wait till you see all the Halloween stuff you want to see, because the Halloween stuff will take you a while. Last tip, lucky number 13, and perhaps the most important of the 13 tips, just have fun. I've just done a whole video telling you what I think of the event and how you could perhaps enjoy it better, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Fun is subjective, fun is easy. Like I said earlier, fun could be having a few drinks with friends at the local bar. That's fun. If you want immersive, thrilling, themed entertainment, this is a fantastic event. If you're a Halloween freak and you bleed black and orange, this is a great event, and you should go and you should enjoy it. And enjoy it in the way that best suits you. Don't let me tell you the best way to do it. Don't let any other videos tell you the best way to do it. Don't let any other reviews tell you what's good or what sucks, because ultimately any art form, be it a movie or a haunted house or a theme park or music, it's all subjective. It's all art. So it's completely up to you what you like and what you don't like. Just go into this with no preconceived notions, no predetermined opinions. Well, I've heard enough people say that it's like this, well, I already feel this way. Don't do that. Just go in there and be ready to have fun. The first time I went, I didn't have a park map. I didn't know what to expect. I just dove right into it. And I worked my way around the loop of the park, and I did everything and I saw everything, and by the end of the night, I was just like, and I hope that you're that way too. I don't know that you're gonna be that way, but don't let me or anyone else tell you how to feel about it. You just have to go and do it yourself and formulate your own opinion. At the end of the day, it's all up to you. So go have fun and enjoy your Halloween Horror Night. We're not done. I have bonus tips for you because I like you and I care about your happiness. First of all, ibuprofen or Advil or Tylenol or whatever your generic painkiller of choice is. Keep those in your bag, and before you head out to the park for the evening, you might want to pop a couple of them. Like I said, lots of walking. It's also very, 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 very loud. Everywhere you go is very loud. But if you don't mind all that stuff, and you may not be in the best shape of your life like me, pop a few preventative Tylenol or Advil or whatever you like. You'll thank me later. Last tip, if you don't travel frequently, get a couple of cheap little night lights and put in your travel bag. Why? Because every hotel I've ever stayed in my entire life, when you go to the bathroom at night and it's pitch black, it's just pitch black. And if you turn the light switch on, it's like the surface of the sun, because there may be 2, 3, 4, or 5 different fixtures around the bathroom that are all on one switch. So just get a couple of cheap night lights to throw up in your hotel room, and if you forget about them, it's no big deal, just buy some more. They're like $2. Well, this has been 13 tips to help you survive Halloween Horror Nights. My name is Jake Farmer. Thank you for watching here on Farmeritaville. And again, if you found this helpful, please subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have more videos like this in the future, and I'm gonna take you along on more adventures when we go to more Halloween events, theme parks, and just any excuse we can find to have fun. Go do stuff.